Expert talk, your prize for being on time is a magic trick. Would you like to see a magic trick?
Yeah! Are you okay if I record it?
These are, yeah, it's okay. These are standard coins that have been lifted from the table, okay? Now, I learned a little something in science, and it's called the law of gravity. What happens with gravity? If I flip my hands, these coins will fall. That's called gravity. What's it called?
Gravity.
You got it. Now watch this. If I close my hands, it's like gravity is turned off. They don't fall. Amazing, right? Now watch what happens. If I put one coin inside my hand and the other coin on the outside of my hand, one coin inside my hand, the other coin outside of my hand, what's going to happen to the ones on the outside when I flip my hands?
Gravity.
They're going to fall. What's going to happen to the ones on the inside?
They're going to stay.
Exactly. Watch. 1, 2, 3, just like that. Okay? Now, if we put them all inside, what happens? If I flip my hands?
All stay.
So that's gravity. We understand gravity, but what we don't quite understand is static electricity. Static electricity, I don't know if it happens in Guatemala, but where I live, if you rub your feet on the ground, what happens when you get a little touch? What happens? There's a little boom! Did you see that? Watch this. It's like a transfer of energy. Did you see that? Okay. I'll do it again. This time, I'm going to keep all my hands open. If I keep my hands open, what's going to happen with the coins? When I flip them, they're all going to what? Right, because that's called the law of gravity, right? So just like that, flip it like this. Now watch the static electricity. Boom! Can you believe what just happened?
No.
All right. Okay. So in front of you, you have a book that's been called Hotter Than 50 Shades of Grey. All right? I promise nobody's going to get whipped unless you want to. Okay?
You know me.
Now, I'm going to tell you how this book works because some of you who are trying to write a book. And this book is the solution to your problems if you want to grow your business with public speaking. If you would please open to the contents. Welcome to the new world of the expert speaker. I'm going to tell you about why it's the new world. I started in the business 14 years ago. It's very different today. Then we're going to go to how to become a highly paid speaker. We're going to talk about Pain Island to Pleasure Island. We're going to talk about defining your audience, your offer, your speech, your stages, and how to monetize your message. And then I'm going to give you marching orders on how to move forward. Today, you're actually going to make your signature speech. So let's start with what is a signature speech? And even before that, let's start with what was the speaking business and what is it today? So when I was a kid, we were too poor to travel. Mom wanted to go on vacation and Dad said the old phrase, "We can't afford it." So I had this idea. I thought, what if I could get paid to travel? Now, I do like to put on a show every now and then. I like to perform, I like to teach, I like to learn. So I heard about this job called motivational speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn to your neighbor, look him in the eye, give him a high five, and say, "You're awesome."
You're awesome.
You're awesome.
You're awesome.
That's a motivational speaker. If you're feeling motivated, say yes.
Yes!
Okay. So what I heard about these motivational speakers is they get paid to speak, they get first-class airline tickets, they fly in, they stay in the presidential suite, and they get paid thousands of dollars, and they're on to the next speech on the speaking circuit. And all I knew as a kid was I can't afford to travel, but if some people with money, these conferences, can pay me to go tell people to high-five each other, then that's the business. So, my first paid speaking engagement was at a retirement home in Ottawa, Canada. And I was asked to come in to speak about conflict management. I know nothing about conflict management, but I said, yes, I will. And I arrived on the scene, and the room was packed with 3 old people. They only needed 2 chairs because one of them brought their own with wheels. They were on a wheelchair. All right? So I'm talking about conflict management, and I found out in my research for the audience, because you got to research your audience, that some people over on this wing of the retirement home weren't getting along with other people on that wing of the retirement home. So I'm giving my speech. I'm like, you got to see the humanity in your brother. You got to look across the room and realize that is you and you are them. And one of them starts putting out this sound. Sounds like. I didn't appreciate it. But I came with props, as I like to do. And I passed out plastic bags with 2 Lipton bags of tea, and I gave each person a Ziploc with 2 Lipton bags of tea. And I said, I know how you old people like tea. I said, one of these bags is for you, and one of them is for your arch nemesis on the other side, and you guys just have tea together and just talk. You're welcome. And then at the end, I got a standing ovation from 2 of them. The woman in the wheelchair wasn't having it. And then I was presented with my first payment, a $25 gift certificate to Starbucks. A paid speaker was born. And then I went to Carbondale, Illinois, where my mom and dad live, and I was in Canada at the time, and I heard the Rotary Club was meeting. Well, the Rotary Club is a gathering of old people once a week, and this time they didn't have a speaker. So I came and I said, I'll be your speaker, and they were like, okay. So I gave a little something, talk about networking. And then at the end of the talk, I was presented with a pen that said Rotary Club. I considered it a payment. Paid 1 pen, and an international speaker was born. International paid speaker up in here. And yet, I've only made $25 only redeemable at Starbucks. So I worked my way up from the bottom. $100 for a speech, $200 for a speech, $500 for a speech, $1,000 for a speech. Would you please go, ooh? 2,000. 5,000. Can I hear 10,000?
Yes!
Woo! But that wasn't the best. Oh no. The best was every year at the end of the year, I would add up my income for my accountant to file my taxes. I made money coaching, I made money consulting, I made money training. In fact, I had one of those free business cards from Vistaprint, and it said speaker slash coach slash facilitator slash trainer slash consultant slash whatever you'll pay me for. And I added up all this money. And my accountant asked me this smart question. She said, where'd you get these clients come from? Where'd they come from? Every single one of them came from speaking. Please say, ooh. I just found out I had a marketing strategy that worked. I didn't even know it. I wasn't even trying. I was going out speaking, and people were coming up to me and saying, I would like you to do this for me. And I said, would you pay me for that? And they said, sure, yeah, sure we would. So speaking was actually my marketing strategy. Not just my product. See, I sold the product, the $500 performance, the $1,000 day of training, the $10,000 facilitation at the annual meeting. That's the product. So selling the speech is one way to make money speaking, but using the speech to get clients is much better. Today's signature speech is the using the speech to get clients strategy. So there I was, 2019, the Novo Hotel. Actually, let me tell you the New Orleans story first. So I get this call from this guy from Switzerland, from the Geneva Group International. He says, we're having a conference in New Orleans. We want you to be our keynote speaker. And I'm like, how did you find me? YouTube. Are you sure you're talking to the right person? I think so. So how much is it gonna, so what do you charge? And I didn't know what to say. In fact, I'm gonna tell you what to say. When someone says, what do you charge? Do not say a number. You say this. I'd be more than happy to work within your budget. Why don't we first determine if I'm the right speaker for you, and if you and I both agree that I'm the right speaker, then I'll work within your budget. Fair enough, just like that, and they go, sure. Then I say, well, to determine if we're the best speaker, let's say you bring me in and I give the best presentation you've ever seen, and everyone comes up to you afterwards and says, thank you for bringing in that speaker. And people start implementing things that they learned from the speech that drive strategic results for your organization. And 1 year later, you remember it's a 1-year anniversary from the day you decided to hire me as your speaker, and you think to yourself, man, bringing in Majeed as your speaker was the best decision we ever made. What would have to happen between now and a year from now for you to feel that bringing me in as your speaker was the best decision you ever made? That's a very long question. But the whole time I'm asking it, she's thinking, I'm hiring him, he's doing a great job, people are saying thank you, they're implementing, we're still friends in a year, I like this, this feels good. And they usually say something like, well, give us actionable technical stuff that we can implement and make it awesome. And then you say, perfect, that's exactly what I'll do. Now, as I promised, I will work within your financial parameters. What financial parameters would you like me to work within? They say a number, and you say, I can work with that. So this day I said $5,000. And they said, sure. And I said, is it okay if I bring my wife and kids? Wife and child, one child I had at the time. He said, sure. So I show up at the airport, New Orleans, limo driver with my name on it. Big, huge black guy, like 400-pound black guy from New Orleans, driving us in his limo. And I get to the Hotel Monteleone, to the presidential suite, and there's a cheese platter enough for 50 people. And I'm thinking, they must be making some mistake. Don't they know I don't really do this all that often? But anyway, I'm in the place. And I'm doing my PowerPoint the night before. So I got 100 accountants and lawyers at this conference for high net worth individual wealth management. I don't know how I'm the speaker, but I'm doing some talk about leadership or something. And I'm thinking, these guys should probably hire me to do some sort of training at their office. And there's 100 of them representing at least like 50 different offices. I'm going to make a pitch. And at the time, I was watching Brendan Burchard and Jeff Walker and Product Launch Formula, and I was watching the internet marketers making millions online. And the way they do it is they say, we got this product, and it's only available now. But when you sign up now, you get this bonus, and it's crazy value. You get this second bonus, and it's stupid value. And you get this third bonus, and it's so insane. And the value of all these things, and they add it up to some crazy number. And then they say, but when you buy today, boom. And then it's this smaller number. And I heard somewhere that if you have a red number be the big number, and the smaller number is green, people lose their mind when the number's green because they're like, oh my God, it's freaking green. And if you end the number in 7, they're like, oh, well, I gotta buy it. It ends in 7. So it's not $1,000, it's 997. Can you please say 7? 7. Oh my God, right? So I'm there the night before. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm in my hotel room in New Orleans, and I'm making my PowerPoint, and I'm adding up the bonuses, and it's red, and it's huge. And I'm talking like it's $243,000.17 red. And then I'm like, but when you buy it today, it's only $5,000, not $5,000, $4,990, and it's in the color green. Okay. So I'm ready. So I take the stage. Turn to your neighbor, look him in the eye, give him a high five, and say, you're awesome. And so I'm giving my speech. You go ahead and do it. Go ahead and turn to your neighbor, look him in the eye. Okay. So I'm doing my motivational speaker speech. And I'm like, guys, if you like that, you're going to love this. I got an amazing training. Your company needs my training. We're doing time management and communication skills, and we're doing how to deal with difficult people, and we're doing all the soft skills. And you get the bonus, and you get the other bonus, and the other bonus. But when you sign up today, click, click, and the animation, and the boom, and the green numbers, and the 7. And then I didn't know what happens next. And the whole room went silent. And then someone started laughing at me. Can you laugh? And it started to spread. It started to spread. They were all laughing at me, and I was turning red. And then I looked at the front row, and I saw my client who hired me.
Oh, no.
He was so embarrassed. His face was buried in his hands, and he was doing this. And I was like, I don't know what to do now. They're laughing at me. And so I just kind of left, and I didn't want to show up to the rest of the conference. I made 0 sales. I ate all that cheese. So I decided then and there, I'm going to figure out how to do this thing. I'm going to figure out how to do it with class. See, the thing that I did wrong there is I gave a great speech followed by a shitty sales pitch. And what I know now is that the speech starts when they read your title. The sales starts when they read your title, when they read your description, when they read your bio, and the whole speech. You want to resonate with your ideal client so that the whole time they're thinking, I should probably hire this guy. Fast forward to the signature speech. Once I learned this model, I was invited to a conference of functional medicine doctors, and I decided I'm going to give the perfect speech for functional medicine doctors. I'm going to get up and I'm going to tell my story of how my mother was diagnosed bipolar and she was put on these pills, and it wasn't until she found a functional medicine doctor who healed her, and I tell it, and there's not a dry eye in the room. 200 functional medicine doctors in the room. And I'm teaching them about public speaking, and I'm saying, guys, some functional medicine doctor gave some speech and it changed my mom's life, and you can too, because someone like my mom is in your audience. And I booked 50 strategy calls before I got back to my seat. And that month I made $250,000, and I decided, well, I'm the public speaking coach for functional medicine doctors. Because if I just do that every once in a while, I'll make a lot of money. And that's what I teach. And just over there, I gave the exact same speech about 5 days ago. Booked 11 strategy calls, and I've closed 4 of them at $5,000 so far. Okay. And what they're buying for $5,000 is this and this. They're buying how to give a speech to get high-ticket clients. And that's what I'm about to teach you. So imagine you had 10 minutes on stage in front of potential buyers. Please write this down. Step 1 of the 5-step process is your audience. And what you're going to write is, who is your buyer? Who is the one person in the audience that you're going to get to say, oh my gosh, I want to hire that person, and they're going to pay you? Please write it down. So you're writing down who is the one person that at the end of your speech is going to come up to you with money and say, I need to hire you. Okay, let's hear it. Who is it?
I don't know.
If you did know, who would it be?
Honestly, I'm the wrong person.
Okay.
It must make sense.
If you took this magical certainty pill,
Well, I don't know what I'm selling. I'm not selling anything.
okay, so who do you want to serve?
I also don't know.
Do you have anybody in the world that's paying you right now?
Yes.
Who?
A company in New Zealand.
Would you like another one like that?
No, I want to get away from them.
Okay. How
The
about,
wrong person asked.
what if a new client hired you, a new company, but they were better than the one in New Zealand?
Okay.
Okay, what's their name?
I don't know. Maybe a travel magazine.
Perfect. Okay, and the person at that travel magazine who can hire you, is it the CEO?
No, probably the editor.
Okay, so the editor of the travel magazine is in your audience.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And the thing that you're going to offer them is what exactly?
I will go to destinations and write about them for them.
Okay, so your talk is going to be called How to Write Juicy, Scintillating Articles About Destinations That Blow Up Your Travel Magazine Business. And the travel magazine editor is like, oh my gosh, this is literally exactly what we
I
need.
want.
I got to talk to her afterwards. Okay, that's what we're going for. Okay, got that person in your mind?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Maybe Karen.
Karen's in the audience. Okay, who's your person?
A 7 to 8 figure single entrepreneur.
Okay, is it 7 or 8?
7.
Okay, and what do you do for them?
I help them find their life partner.
Oh, and is this a man or a woman?
I work with both, but the single person is probably a man.
What's his name?
Scott.
Scott is running a 7-figure business, and you're going to teach him how to find your life partner and be an even more amazing entrepreneur. And you're going to teach him that in a talk, and he's going to come up to you afterwards, and he's going to be like, I've never felt more seen, heard, and understood. Can you work with me? And you'll look at him and go, that depends, Scott. Fill out my form. Okay, great. Celia.
Probably a very special manager who really feels like doing everything for me to make me have a lot of good concerts.
Great. Okay. So there's a concert manager. So there's a artist manager who's going to come up to you and say, I would love to represent you. Perfect. Okay. Allie.
Anna, she's a real estate agent, also flips houses with her husband, who is slightly effeminate. And she's a woman who is stuck with an unbirthed book inside of her.
Does she call it an unbirthed book? Or does she say, I've always wanted to write a book, but I don't know how?
Yeah, she probably says like, I'm creatively stuck. I keep trying to write, and something
Okay. And so Anna's going to see your talk on how to write a book. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sam, who's in your audience?
One that came to mind would be like, what's that?
Trevor.
Okay, that's good.
What is it?
Very well-known creators and artists.
Okay. And they're going to see your talk, and after the talk, they're going to want to hire you for what? They're going to join Experience House?
Yeah, I could. That's the other direction I was going to go is like sponsors.
Okay.
Experience House would be another.
Got it. Got it.
Like, yeah, investors or sponsors.
So if you gave a talk called What is Experience House, and an investor came up afterward and said, can we sponsor this? That would be a strategic outcome for you. Cool. All right, see how strategic we're getting here? We're like, so what is the result of the talk, and what are we getting people to do after the talk here? Mika.
Probably someone organizes conference with a lot of rich people
Okay.
that tend to be a little bit disconnected.
Yeah.
And when they hear me play, they get connected to their inner self.
Okay, great.
And it makes them very happy.
Yeah, got it. Now for Mika and Celia, this might not be a speech, it might be a concert. But just imagine Mika and Celia are giving a concert and they decide to throw in a little story about how one time we were playing at the house of a billionaire for their 40th birthday, and everyone sat around candlelit, and the billionaire's wife came up to us afterwards and said, "We have never felt like more of a family than today. Thank you." Just that little story is going to make the people go, "I want to throw a concert in my house that makes everyone feel like family." See, stories impregnate little ideas into people's minds. Mati.
I would say my buyer is a booking agent or a venue owner.
Okay. And so you're giving a talk called How to Make a Concert That Rocks.
How to make a party that rocks.
Okay. How to make a party that they talk about for decades.
Ooh, Project X, papi.
Might as well let the venue host, organizer feel their ego go like, I want people talking about me for decades. Okay. Vika.
I got 4 talks.
Okay.
Different audiences, but basically what it boils down to, for the first half of the talks, corporate facing, head of HR, learning and development, VP of sales, CEO.
Mm-hmm.
For the second set of talks, we're talking tech, finance, pros.
Mm-hmm.
Usually that are high achievers, household income, 200K plus, but it's completely unfulfilled inside.
Okay. The more you add to the different audiences, the more your message becomes confusing. Because there's going to be part of your speech that the CEO doesn't care about, but the sales guys do. And there's going to be part of your speech that the HR people care about, but the CEO doesn't. So this is why you want to pick one person, and then this talk is going to be like the love letter to that one person, so that they come up to you afterwards and they're going to say to you, I felt like you were talking to me. Did you plant a recording device in my brain? Because it feels like you know exactly my inner thoughts. Try to resonate with everybody, and it becomes vanilla. Reem.
Yeah, I'm on her page. I'm torn because I know it's 2 talks, but they're completely different audiences. So one would be for people that want to host events and are looking for direction on how to produce events that. So let's say either corporate, so the marketing director, they're looking for direction on how to host events, produce events that allow them to achieve their marketing goals. Okay, and that
Okay.
can be individuals or they can be corporations.
Okay.
So that would be more like consulting side of production and events.
Yeah.
And the other talk is for people, for facilitators, for retreat hosts, looking for a venue to host their events at.
Great. So the one is how to have an event that achieves your marketing goals. And you can add, when you make a title, you can say how to do this that gets result without downside. So you say how to have an event that achieves your marketing goals without taking the 1,000 hours to plan. Or how to have an event that achieves your marketing goals without getting sued. Or without sort of fear, right? Okay. Vinny.
Mine is probably someone that is like either building or transforming a land project or a hospitality project or a venue.
Okay.
And I am offering them so I'm giving them the opportunity to turn a piece of land into something more meaningful.
Okay. Why do they care about that?
Because with soul, people build community and people stick to the place. There's something that links them to the place and it's not just a venue.
Okay. So how to turn a venue into a landmark?
By giving it identity and making people relate to it.
Okay. How to turn a soulless venue into a place that people love with character.
Programming, experiences.
Okay. Okay.
arts,
And they're going to hire you to do what?
to curate and design.
Okay. So you're going to give this talk and it's going to be so devastatingly brilliant that the venue owner is going to come up to you and say, we need you. That's what we're going to do. Okay, cool. Emiliano.
It's probably one talk that could be segmented to multiple people, so maybe you can help me out with this. I know how to use narrative to sell a giant piece of shit and make it worth for someone, right? So I can teach that.
Okay.
But that is interesting for people because sometimes their products are bad and they just need a good story to sell it, or I can actually show them how to make a good product that doesn't need bullshit to be sold.
Okay. So how to make a product that people really want and want to buy?
Yeah, so it's I would choose one of those directions is how to make a product, how to develop a product that doesn't need narrative to sell itself, or
Okay.
how to use narrative.
How to make a product that sells itself. So who's going to then stand up after that speech and hire you?
A product designer of a tech company
Okay.
that has different like columns of products.
Okay. So product designer is going to watch this talk and say, we got to hire this guy.
Probably, or even the CEO.
Okay, cool. We've just completed the first 2 steps of the 5-step formula to grow your business with public speaking. The first step is audience, and the second step is offer. Audience is who you're talking to. Offer is what they're buying from you. Eskil, what's your talk about?
My talk would be about how to create memories and convey a message for event producers.
Okay. I think you make films for events that make the attendees say, wow, that was a cool event, and makes non-attendees say, oh my gosh, that I should have been there. I'm going to the next one, right? So to abbreviate that, how to produce FOMO-inducing marketing promo videos for your fabulous retreats.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody please stand up. Put one foot on your chair. One hand on your hip. We need you. One foot on your chair, one hand on your hip, the other hand, fists in the air, and say, I'm halfway there. Yes. I'm halfway there. Yes. Okay, have a seat. You're halfway there. You know who you're talking to. You know what they're buying. You know what the speech is about. These are the strategic frame. This is the strategic framing of your signature speech.
So the first one is who's the buyer. Second one is
What are they buying? Okay. Now your speech is going to be the story of 2 islands. This island is called Pain Island. What's it called?
Pain Island.
Yeah, and this one's called Pleasure Island. What's it called?
Pleasure Island.
Okay. And your audience is on Pain Island. The audience of the seven-figure entrepreneur who is single and looking for his wife, Pain Island sounds like, doesn't it suck to be so successful and feel like a failure? And have no one to share it with? Doesn't it feel so lonely that every woman you meet wants you, but they don't really understand you? Don't you hate going on dating apps and asking people, what's your favorite color? When you're really just wanting to call in the perfect piece of your puzzle that's going to take you from seven figures to infinity figures? Fuck yeah. Okay. Well, imagine, please write down the word imagine. It's one of my favorite words. It's like turning on the film projector of the mind. Let these words pour over your mind like honey. Imagine having a woman delivered to you who you're able to research, vet, and qualify, that in the first 30 seconds you go, oh my God, I've been looking for you my entire life. Imagine feeling like you found the perfect support who believes in you and challenges you at the same time. Imagine that you found the magical missing compound to your chemical formula that it turns you from fire into gold. Imagine she's ready for you. Imagine you're ready for her. This can be yours for only $9.97.
That's zeros, but yes.
With a green number. Okay. So now you have a boat. And this boat transports the poor people of Pain Island to Pleasure Island. The mistake people make is they want to talk about the boat. For JC, that might sound like, first we're going to do your astrology, and then we're going to do your personality type, and then we're going to write out your goals, and I'm going to go through your childhood wounds. I'm going to analyze your parents. I'm going to get your ideal profile, ideal partner profile indicator. We're going to start vetting people. We're going to set up some dates. This is all like logistics of how it works. And I'm going, let's skip to the part where she's my fabulous fairy queen. Let's skip to the part where she leads a yoga retreat at my house. That's my vision. Okay. Pain Island. The soulless venue. You built another soulless box. You're having another soulless corporate event. People come and they have to drink alcohol just to make it through the night because it's so boring. Oh God, we have the Association of Plumbers annual general meeting. Jesus, shoot me. You did not get into business to host events like this. Imagine class and culture. Imagine art and intellect. Imagine unforgettable, savory, sensational, scintillating experiences under your roof. Imagine every single person leaving your venue on their way home, bowing their heads with that knowing look that you are the host with the most. You are the guy with the class. You are the Sultan of Swing. I can get you there. Okay, I can get you there. Instead of saying, we're going to do a color analysis, and we're going to do an inventory, and we're going to redecorate, and we're going to do crown moldings, and we're going to do who cares? Just make everybody love me, because that's what I want. Make everybody love me. Everybody will love you after you work with me. Okay? So think about the Pain Island. Now, your story that you tell sounds like, you people of Pain Island, I've been there. I know how it is. Almost thought I was going to get stuck there. And I took the long way, took the hard way. I swam through the night. Had to punch a shark in the face just to survive. I didn't have no boat. And I made it all the way to Pleasure Island, and I looked back in the mirage, and I saw you sad people. And I said, I can't just leave you there. I got to build a boat. that's why I'm back with my boat. So if you guys want to stay here on Pain Island, feel free. Whatever. But just so you know, there's a boat and it's leaving right now. Now, if you want to do the hard way, if you want to swim and try to beat those sharks, my buddy Carlos didn't make it. And now enter the cautionary tale. The cautionary tale. Now let's say Lindsay's given a talk on how to write travel destination articles that transport people's minds. And she tells the cautionary tale. Well, these travel bloggers out there, they started using a formula. They started writing the same piece over and over. It started getting so bad. In fact, one magazine was caught copying and pasting their Bangkok review with their Tokyo review. The same exact words. Well, that created a scandal online, and what happened to that magazine? They're no more. This could happen to you. The cautionary tale. The cautionary tale for Ali is the book, the would-be author who spent $50,000 on a shaman to help her have an awakening so she can finally freaking write her book, but she ended up having a mental breakdown, and now she's in the psych ward. Still hasn't published a book. The cautionary tale for Sam is they sponsored something that was boring and spent all this money and nobody cared. The cautionary tale is your ideal client's worst nightmare. Reem, the cautionary tale for you is the company that had the marketing event that was a total disaster. It was a PR nightmare. They spent all this money and people got the complete wrong idea and now they're in a lawsuit, right? So the way you tell that story is you bring people into the scene, and this is just storytelling 101. You bring people into the moment. You let people see it, smell it, taste it, feel it, hear it. You reenact it. And a cautionary tale should make people's stomach twist a little bit. Ugh, I don't want that. Now you compare that to the success story. The success story is the client who had the problem came to you and you looked him in the eye and said, don't worry, I know exactly what to do. So Emiliano, the success story. This company had this brilliant idea. They had these prototypes, but they didn't know how to bring it to market, and it had a 7-page explanation that nobody really could understand. But they brought it to Emiliano, and Emiliano, with his artistry and mastery and magic, whipped it up into shape, and now you can just look at the product, and the product is self-explanatory, sells itself, and it sells like hotcakes. Made that company $25 million. Now they're on the Inc. 500 fastest growing company in North America. The CEO personally flew out to Guatemala to hang out with Emiliano and said, man, Emiliano, you know what? You saved my marriage. I was so stressed about that product. Every day I would come home and my wife would nag me and she would say, drop that product, but I couldn't because I just believed in it too much. And it wasn't until we got you to simplify it and turn it from a piece of crap to a work of art. Emiliano, I owe you everything.
Gotta be humble, man.
Yeah. That's the success story. So the success story is the person who was on Pain Island, then they met you, they rode your boat, and now they're on Pleasure Island. And if you want to be like them, you can sign up today for $999.97. That's the framework. So your solution solves the pain, and this presentation shows them, here's what it looks like to be in pain and get out of it by riding my boat. Or here's what it looks like to be in pain and stay in it by doing your own thing. Now you get to choose which one. Now the last element of the signature speech is your proprietary process. Your proprietary process is your unique formula for getting results. So if Vinny had to teach a room full of venue owners, how to turn your boring venue into a magical place with character, he would say the 4 elements of a magical place with character are, and he would teach them and he would show examples and he would tell stories about those elements. And that would demonstrate that he understands how to take a boring venue into a place with character. When Lindsay's giving a talk on what makes travel articles amazing and go viral and get all sorts of reviews and blow up a travel magazine, she would say a travel article element, a winning travel article element has 5 key elements, right? JC would say there's 4 steps to calling in your soul partner. This, then this, then this, then this. Let me tell you a story of a client of mine that went through those 4 steps. Now let me juxtapose that to a story of someone who didn't go through those 4 steps and ended up in a terrible marriage, hated their life, and now they're in the middle of a multi-million-dollar divorce. Don't do that. Right? These are the stakes. Now you think you should just be able to go out there and find your wife. People do it all the time. Go to a bar, say what's up, pick up a chick, take her home, fall in love, marry her. Don't even try that. You're different. You're a 7-figure entrepreneur. You're a conscious, soulful entrepreneur. You don't just find a chick, you call in a queen.
Don't call her a chick.
That's right. I haven't worked with JC yet. Excuse me. I haven't seen the doc. All right. So, the elements of the signature speech are as follows. Please write these down. Step 1, fuck. Everybody please say yar. Yar. You start the speech off with a pirate voice, the hook. The hook gets people's attention. Your first sentence must get their attention because every person's mind is set to, is this going to suck? Step 1, the hook. Step 2, the payoff. This is literally the first sentence and literally the second sentence. The payoff is, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you how to call in your queen in 5 easy steps. The payoff is what you're going to get. The payoff is, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how to turn your next concert into an unforgettable, sensational experience. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you how to have an event that people talk about for decades. That's the payoff statement. So step 1, the hook, yar. Yar. Step 2, the payoff, cha-ching. Step 3, your journey story. Your journey story is where you came from humble beginnings, a land called Pain Island, and through trial and tribulation made it to Pleasure Island. That is your journey story. And there wasn't no boat when you made it back in your day. You had to figure it out the hard way. Punch a shark in the face. So step 1, hook, yar. Step 2, payoff, cha-ching. Step 3, your journey story. Yes.
So for me, I'm not at the general age bracket that my ideal person is, and
Yes.
so I haven't actually gone through. Like, I mean, I've swiped and things like that, but I don't actually harbor the same ache or desire that my clients do.
Okay, what is the greatest pain that you've experienced associated to this problem?
Witnessing my mom's fiance die after 5 years.
There you go. That's your journey story.
Okay.
I'll never forget the day. In fact, I remember exactly where I was. I remember the moment when I realized how important it is to find your perfect soulmate. There I was. That's the story. Mm-mm. 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 Mm. This is my show. Okay. Step 3. Step 4. So we got hook, payoff, your journey. Next step, proprietary process. Your magical formula.
Again, sorry.
Your proprietary process. This is your formula for getting results. After you share your proprietary process, you transition and you say, let me show you an example. And then you tell a success story. Someone you've worked with and gotten results.
Is that 5?
Or
Yes.
that's within,
Hook, payoff, your story, journey story, your proprietary process, step 5, success story.
of people that have used that process and succeeded.
Exactly. And this answers the question, yeah, okay, fine, it works for you, but does it work for someone else? The answer is yes. Let me tell you a story. Step 6, cautionary tale. This is the what could happen if you don't hire me story. Step 7, call to action. Call to action says, so for those of you who want to be a success story and not a cautionary tale, schedule a call with me right now.
6 is cautionary tale. And
Yeah,
7 is
7, call to action.
And that's where you give your offer.
Yes. The offer can be a buy now situation where you say, pull out your phone, go to this website and buy now, or fill out a form, sign a credit card and buy now. And the last step, 8, is the closing sentence.
The closing?
Closing sentence, closing statement, yeah.
Wouldn't it be 9 because 8 is the off the.
Is it 9 or is it 8? I don't know.
It's 8.
Okay, how we doing? Okay, we got 15 minutes left. All right, let me tell you about the time I did my first ever speak to sell experience. You guys want to hear that? Say yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So there I was. Rotary Club, Ottawa, Canada, at the City Hall cafeteria. Glamorous venue. I walk in and there's 12 people. If you ever been to a Rotary Club meeting, it's a hodgepodge. You got old people, you got young people, you got governments, you got unemployeds, you got entrepreneurs, they're all there. And I had 15 minutes to talk about networking. What was I talking about? Networking. You're paying attention. Okay. So I got 15 minutes and I'm like, how to shake a hand. And by the way, how to shake a hand. You see that web right there? Web to web? You like that? There it is. Nice to meet you. Okay. So I'm talking about networking for 15 minutes. And at the end I said, if you like that, and if you want more, I have a networking course. Can you please go, ooh. Yeah, so I got this course, right? So I built this course. And I'd never sold it before. But the night before, I printed out order forms. And on the order forms, it says, put your name, email, phone number, and check a box if you want to be subscribed to my newsletter. Exciting, right? And if you want to buy my course, it's $500. And then I said, everybody with a pen, please take that number 500 and cross it off and write the number 300 because it's on sale today. And then fill out your credit card number. So I passed out these forms. I've never done this before. And I see people taking out their credit cards. And these old people with their glasses, they're trying to read their credit cards and they're writing it down and I'm getting really excited. And then they pass in the forms. I collect all the forms. I shake everybody's hands. I'm a little too nervous to look at the forms, so I go out into the car. And I go sit in my Honda Accord. And the first one has no credit card numbers. And the second one has no credit card numbers. And the third one has no credit card numbers. And I was like, am I sure? I saw credit cards out. And I look at the next one, and there they are, the beautiful credit cards. Cha-ching, $300. Cha-ching, $300. Cha-ching, $300. 6 people bought $300 course from me. And so there in the car with my little iPhone, I pulled up my Square app and I typed in manually the credit card numbers for each sale and I processed the payments on my phone and I emailed them the course with a little promo code to enter in to get it for free. And I delivered the product and I made the money. And at the time, I was working at the YMCA and every 2 weeks I would get a paycheck with a little sheet of paper in my cubby. And I opened it up and it says, this is the money we said we were going to pay you, and this is what we're taking for taxes, and we're taking more taxes and more taxes, and the money you're actually getting is like $900. So every 2 weeks I made $900 at the YMCA. So I just made a month's salary in the parking lot of the Ottawa City Hall cafeteria. Yeah. 2 weeks later, I'm doing a time management course, 1-day course. I got paid $1,500 to go deliver this course. The night before, I'm like, I need an order form, but I can't sell a networking course at a time management course. That doesn't make sense. So what am I going to do? I'm gonna host a retreat and I'm gonna charge $1,500 for it. And I had 100 people in my audience. And at the end of my time management, I was like, hey, if you were doing your time management stuff and you were like, I want to do a retreat, had I done that training again today, I would have talked about retreats a lot more throughout the whole training. Wouldn't it be nice to go on a retreat? Retreat. So at the end, I'm like, hey, I'm passing out these forms, fill it out, and put your credit card number if you want to come to my retreat for $1,500. And 3 people bought, and I made an extra $4,500 that day because I had this order form. So now I'm like, anytime I'm giving a talk, there's always got to be either an order form that you buy now or schedule a call so that you can then perhaps make an offer on the call. Okay, we've got 9 minutes left. I want you, so you now have an outline. You know who the talk is for. You know what they're going to buy. You know you got to hook their attention and give them a payoff statement at the beginning. You're going to show them how you get results with your proprietary process. You're going to tell them a story about how you became from Pain Island to Pleasure Island. You're going to tell them a story about how you got someone else to go from their Pain Island to their Pleasure Island. We call it the success story. And you're going to tell a third story called the cautionary tale of someone on the Pain Island who never made it off and things got worse, right? The person who married the wrong person and it tanked their business and now they're getting a divorce and you don't want that, okay? Any questions? Who remembers exactly how I started this speech?
With the magic trick.
How do you think I'm going to end this speech?
Magic trick.
Yeah. Because then when I end how I started, you go, oh yeah, I remember where we started, right? That's why we had our closing ceremony up here and not down there on the mushroom day. So ending where we started is a little warm and fuzzy fun feeling. Tying it all together. And it's like the beginning of the speech, I'm speaking about how I get your world, I know about Pain Island. At the end of the speech, it's like, now that you know about Pleasure Island, I'll see you there. It's almost like the old world at the beginning of the speech and the new world at the end of the speech. Old world where you're stuck now in pain, new world of possibilities and dreams come true. And the rhythm of your voice at the end will start to sound like this. Thank you.
It's like a song that has a note.
Yeah, yeah. You know we're done. What not to do is, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Nope.
And Vika.
Yeah.
For storytelling.
Yeah. So in Olympics, in gymnastics, they call this landing the dismount. So you come off the thing and you swing and you stick it, and you go like that. Okay? You want to give them that kind of feeling on your last sentence. Yeah. Any other questions?
Well,
Is it also important to make it super easy for them to know what the next steps are in that closing statement?
Yes. So there's 3 questions you ask before a speech. What do I want them to feel? What do I want them to know? What do I want them to do? You can write down these 3 words. Feel, know, do.
that's for the opening.
That's for the whole speech. What do I want them to feel? What do I want them to know? What do I want them to do? If you try to get them to do 3 things, they will likely do 0. If you try to get them to do 2 things, they will likely do 0. If you try to get them to do 1 thing and repeat it over and over and tell a story about them so that they can see themselves doing it. So remember, the next time you're in the grocery store and you're about to pay, turn to the person behind you and say, I got this. That kind of thing. So remember, the next time you're sitting down with your boss getting a review, say, thank you, is there anything I can do better? So remember, when you're in this situation, do that thing. That's the call to action. That's like the thing you want them to do. Now in this speech, the thing you want them to do is take out your phone, go to my website, schedule a call with me right now. And here's how I do that, by the way. Actually, go ahead and grab your phone. And open up your internet browser, turn on your phone, unlock it and open it. Go to your internet browser, and I'm about to read a website off to you. Are you ready? Say yes.
Yes.
Expertspeaker.com/apply. EXPERTSPEAKER.com/apply, APPLY. You should see a calendar. Say yes if you see a calendar.
Yes.
Okay. Click on a day, and you're going to see times. Click on one of those times, please. And you're going to see where it says name and email and then some questions. I want you to go ahead and take a minute right now and fill out those questions. You don't have to actually do this, but this is what I do. I make this like a 20-step process. Instead of go to this website and book a call, I actually break out the steps. Then, once you've scheduled it, just to make sure you entered in your information correctly, I want you to go to your email inbox and make sure you got the confirmation email. If you haven't gotten the confirmation email, you might have wrote down your email wrong. Once you're sure you have the confirmation email, then I want you to go into your calendar and make sure it's in your calendar. Block off the time before and after because you're going to get your mind blown. You got to be ready. All right, make sure you're going to be at a good spot. All right. So you've checked your email, you've checked your calendar, you're sure you're scheduled, and once you're 100% sure you're scheduled, turn to your neighbor and help them finish their scheduling. All right, we're going to take 5 minutes, we're going to do this right now. We're going to schedule your...
The whole process.
Yeah. No, you don't have to right now,
Oh.
but I'm telling you this is how I do it.
Oh,
And
okay.
what if the whole process takes so long that it would lose your audience?
Yeah, you want to keep it simple. And then what I do is I put on the Jeopardy theme, which sounds like... And I walk around. How you doing with that appointment? You got that? You're almost there? Okay, you almost done there? You got that? You got, okay, you need any help with that? You need any help with that? You good? How you doing? How's it coming along? Good? Good? Got it? Good, good. That's what I do. And how many people we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got 10 people here. So the most scheduled calls I could get from this room is 10. And if I say, if you want to book a call, here's the website, I'll probably get 0. But if I walk you through and I say we're going to take 5 minutes to do it right now, I might get 10. So the metrics I measure in my business are how many speeches did I deliver, how many strategy calls did I get, how many clients did I get, and how many dollars do I get. And this one thing, this one part of the speech, where we actually book the call right now, is so critical. Because there's a time that people believe in called later. They say, I will later. And when they say it, they believe it with their whole body. I will definitely, absolutely, 100% later. I don't believe in later. So we do it now. Yeah.
Can I ask another question about the offer? So if you have a high ticket package and where the CTA would be like fill an application or book a call, do you have a method for determining if you should use your speech to move to your high ticket package or to like that $200, $300 course? Because I'm assuming that the entry point would be, like your speech would change based on the tier of offer, right?
Yeah. I don't have a low ticket offer, so I can't speak to it.
Okay, so like a course or something that you said so you've moved out of your course, so you no longer send people to it, you just send them to the...
I have a $5,000 program.
Yeah.
I don't have a low ticket offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have some insight on that. Like, usually what you can do is design strategically 3 tiers, and the one you aim for is the middle one. You overprice the top one, you also overprice the lower one.
Yes.
And you make the middle one the most desirable and reasonable, but in reality it's the only one you're aiming for.
Yes. Okay. In our final minute, please pay close attention. Guatemalan currency is made out of what?
Metal.
Metal. Okay. What happens when you squeeze metal?
Not a lot. Whoa!
If you feel the need to clap, go ahead and let it out. Okay. Watch very closely here on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. See, sometimes not even the coin disappears. You know, Okay, thank you very much. No wheelchairs, so 100% of you. Thank you.